I'm going to call the Justice Committee meeting to order. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve? Have a motion by Member Beer, a second by Member Chung. Any addition or corrections to those minutes? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next item on the agenda is appearance by members of the public. Do we have anyone?
We do not.
All right. Next item on the agenda is item 4A, Kathy Yoder, McLean County Coroner. Hi. We have no items for action, but we have your monthly report. Anything you'd like to say about it?
No, nothing to add. We did get finally we have our removal vehicle that all of you approved a while back. And so it finally came in. It's wonderful. So thank you very much.
Anybody have any questions? Member Chung?
I just want to say welcome back and congratulations
Thank you.
to everything, and hope everybody is well at home.
Yeah, thank you very much. The babies are adorable.
And that is what I was going to also say.
Thank you for asking me about my sweet twins. Thank you.
Any other questions about the babies? Any other questions? All right, hearing none.
Next time I'll bring photos for everyone.
All right,
They're
thank you.
cuddly. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item 4B, Mike Donovan, Court Services Director. We have one item for action, item 4B1A, request approval of an MOU for youth diversion between Bloomington Police Department, Normal Police Department, McLean County Sheriff's Department, and McLean County Juvenile Court Services. And can I have a motion to approve? A motion by Member Martin, a second by Member Schaefer. Mr. Donovan, would you like to address that?
Really nothing more than the memo says. It's something that we realized we were lacking. We've been working with the school resource officers for a long time, and some questions have come up about confidentiality over time frame. So we thought we needed to revisit this, and we went back and Deputy Director put this together so we'd have a working document with the police department so we can share information and do better work.
Does any member have any questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right, next item on the agenda is item 4B2, Court Services Adult Juvenile Division Statistics. Mr. Donovan, would you want to say anything about that?
No, but I'd be happy to answer questions. Numbers remain constant.
Any questions? All right, anything else you want to add?
No, sir.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is item 4C, Don Everhart, McLean County Clerk. He's not here today. We don't have anything for action, but we do have 3 items for information. I do have a question about one of them. What is item 4C2B, and how does that, I read that, but how does that fit in with our salary study and everything, and what's he doing exactly?
So Mr. Everhart has requested a salary adjustment for his team. He is at about a 20% vacancy rate in his current staffing levels. It is the most of any department in McLean County. And he has indicated that he is having trouble keeping up with workload for the courts due to the vacancies. And so in essence, what he is requesting is to impose the salary study for his team early. Okay. And so this would be in congruence with what we will be recommending with the budget at the end in a couple more weeks, actually, when we present the recommended budget. And so he is requesting this early. And that will go to Finance tomorrow night.
Will his request be in the budget? I mean, in the budget for next year? Is that what
Yes.
we're going to do? Okay, all right. But we won't have the salary study till January, right? Is that,
The study will be presented to finance in October,
okay,
and it will take effect January 1.
okay.
And
So it is
so-
factored into the budget then?
It is.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Member Chung?
Yes, thank you. It's regarding the same thing. So if I understand correctly, so they're going to approve it next week. Wait, is it this week? When in finance? I'm sorry.
So the
Tomorrow.
salary
What- I don't know what date
study
it is anymore.
is incorporated into the 2023
Sure,
budget.
yes.
And so it will take effect January 1.
But
We
for-
will be presenting that to you as part of our recommended budget to the full board this month in September. And then at our oversight committees in October, you will be able to digest and ask questions of the budget. And in that finance committee meeting in October, Evergreen Solutions will be coming to present to the finance committee what their recommended strategies were in producing this compensation study for us.
Okay. So so going back to what Mr. Everhart is requesting then, you're saying, I'm sorry, I'm not totally understanding. So he wants to.
He's
requesting
recommending
it
an
starting
increase early.
That's what I'm trying to
So
understand.
instead of starting January 1, he's requesting that the increases that would be received in January take effect the last quarter of 2022
Okay.
for his department.
And so I guess my first question was that, so then finance will be approving that with this week then, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I did not say it very clearly, but thank you so much. Now I understand.
Any other questions? Member Schaefer?
Yeah, we did the same thing at Health Committee for some of the positions at the nursing home. But my question is, which I forgot to ask last week at Health Committee, the funding for this increase now until the end of the year for like both health, for the nursing home and for this, where is that coming from?
It will be absorbed in his 2022 budget with so many vacancies. He will have an excess left over in those line items for full-time employees. And so this increase will be absorbed in that.
So it's kind of neutral or?
Budget neutral.
Yeah.
We'll have the exact numbers for finance, but I believe it's budget neutral or very close.
Any other questions? All right, next item on the, is there anything you wanted to add or anything on that? Okay.
No,
All right, next item on the agenda is item 4D, Ron Lewis, Public Defender. All right, we have no items for action. We do have an item for information, caseload report. Mr. Lewis, would you like to discuss that?
No, I don't think I have anything on that, so open to questions if.
Any questions? Member Schaefer?
You said, I think at the last justice meeting, that you had two people that you were waiting on their bar exam.
Yes,
Do you have those results yet?
those will come in about October.
Oh, okay. Is that why there's vacant on the traffic?
Yes.
Okay.
But there are people, we have what's called 7-Elevens there, practicing under a student license where we have to supervise.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Anything else you want to say?
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is item 4E, Molly Evans, Children's Advocacy Center Director. We have one item for action, item 4E1A, request approval of memorandum of understanding for support of the McLean County Children's Advocacy Center and CASA program with the Child Protection Network, Inc. Can I have a motion to approve? Have a motion by member Beer, second by member Chung. Ms. Evans, anything you'd like to say?
This is just an MOU with the Child Protection Network. They assist us with funding for our CASA program, and they've been doing that for the last several years. And then this year, they are going to help support our prevention programming that I brought before you guys back in June or July.
Does any member have any questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Next item on the agenda is an item for information, the report. Ms. Evans, is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Nothing with regard to the monthly report. I did want to add that we are going to have a open house at the Children's Advocacy Center on Thursday, the 29th, from 3 to 6. We'll get an invite out before the end of the week, but you guys have heard over the last year of all the changes that we've made, and it's finally completed. So we're welcoming you all in the community just to come through and see the space and meet the team, and we'd be happy if you could join us. So
Anything else?
I have nothing else, but happy to answer any questions you might have.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is Will Scanlon, Circuit Court. Item 4F, we have no items for action. We do have an item for information. I'll go ahead and let you address it, Mr. Scanlon.
You have my letter starting on page 48 of your packet. It outlines a potential to have a planning grant through the Illinois Administrative Office, Illinois Courts, the AOIC, for a family treatment court. This would be slightly different than our existing drug court and the recovery court, the mental health court. This would be a broader cross-section of the family who would engage in family therapy specific to the family members. And most of the cases would arise out of the juvenile abuse and neglect court through a referral through the Department of Children and Family Services. This is a planning grant only. It would be, if you look at page 49, items, there's a list of 8 items which we hope to accomplish through the grant. 4, 5, 6, and 7 are really the ones that are going to need engagement of the community and the social service providers within the community to assess whether or not this court could move forward. So I just want to make the committee and the county aware that the court had this opportunity to apply for a planning grant, and we were going to do so. The deadline is later in September. We hope to meet that deadline, and if we receive the grant, then approach the committee about approval and look to engage the community in this planning process. Planning process would last approximately the 2023 calendar year. So this would be a court that would begin in late 2023 or on January 1 of 24.
Does any member have any questions? All right, seeing none. Under other, anything else you'd like to add?
I would note I was receiving emails from the county administrator's office on Sunday. I think she is overworked, and I would agree with her suggestion that we hold the next committee meeting at Analytical Brewing in Lexington. Perhaps that was my suggestion.
Sunday, wow. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is John Sandage, McLean County Sheriff, item 4G. Well, yeah, he doesn't look like John. Why don't you introduce yourself here?
Figure that out. I'm Hadley Welsh. I'm the Chief Deputy with the Sheriff's Office.
All right.
Sitting in for John. He has other obligations right now.
All right. First item is item 4G1A, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2022 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for the Emergency Operations Center. And can I have a motion to approve? A motion by member Wendt. Motion by member, second by member Beer. Would you like to discuss that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. First off, I think earlier in the year, we were a little frustrated that we didn't have a position filled, which is, we're going to try and take advantage with your approval to use some of those unspent funds from the salary. So kind of turned into a blessing in disguise. One, we ended up getting a very good candidate for the assistant director position. And two, we're hoping to use the excess funds that weren't spent for this project. We, I think the flood of 2021 revealed just some lacking in the Emergency Operations Center. So I'm excited to get those upgrades in.
All right, any questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Next item on the agenda is item 4G1B, request approval of a grant agreement between the State of Illinois, Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and the County of McLean, parens nuclear number 23 REP MCLEN. And can I have a motion to approve? I have a motion by Member Martin, a second by Member Went. Would you like to discuss that?
I'll basically just state it's an ongoing grant, and again, I think much of the funds in this particular, for this year, this cycle, is going to be used towards that the upgrades and the EOC.
Does any member have any questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Next item on the agenda is item 4G1C, request approval of a Bosch Video Management System software purchase and service agreement. And can I have a motion to approve? I have a motion by Member Schaefer, second by Member Martin. Would you like to go ahead and discuss that?
Sure. With this particular request, the end of life was a little bit of a surprise, I guess, that we found out earlier this year. I think we've been live or active with this software for about 4 years as part of the annex that went in. So again, we're just wanting to make sure that we don't, nothing slips through the cracks, and everything's in place to maintain upkeep and maintenance.
All right, does any member have any questions? Member Chung?
Yes, thank you. I guess since you said you weren't, and that was something I was wondering, you said, because I noticed that it was installed in 2018.
Yeah.
So it's not very long
No, it isn't.
life. So do you anticipate something like that happening again in the next 4 years? Does anybody
Well, I don't know. I can't forecast that. I certainly
Sure.
hope not.
Yeah,
You
because
know.
it's a lot of money for something
is.
to.
But
for
it's
4 years.
critical.
But no, I understand that, but it's, anyway, but it's kind of,
Frustrating.
I understand that, yes, thank you.
Does any other member have any questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right, last item on the agenda is item 4G2. It's not an item for action, it's an item for information, monthly statistical report. Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
No, sir.
Anybody have any questions? Member Schaefer?
I noticed the jail population is kind of creeping upwards. Just making a comment about noticing it's creeping upwards.
Yeah. No, sir. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item 4H, Don Knapp, McLean County State's Attorney. First item for action is item 4H1A, request approval of a Violent Crime Victims Assistance Program grant agreement between the Attorney General of the State of Illinois and McLean County State's Attorney's Office, Grant 23-1070. Can I have a motion to approve? Motion by Member Beer, second by Member Chung. First, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then if you'd like to address that.
I'm Brad Rigdon. I'm the First Assistant State's Attorney over the Criminal Division at the office. With regard to that grant, that is one that we've gotten in the past. It's something that's utilized to assist in our Victim Witness Division in making sure that we have the number of people we need in there that we need for all the work that they do with coordination with victims, witnesses, and helping arrange other things through them.
All right, I got the motion approved, right? All right, any questions? Comments? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right, next item on the agenda is item 4H1B, request approval of a grant agreement between the State of Illinois, Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, and County of McLean, parens ICJIA Grant 221446, and there is a link included with our packet. And can I have a motion to approve? A motion by member Martin, a second by member Schaefer. Mr. Rigdon, would you like to address that?
That's another grant that's tied to the Victim Witness Division and helps with the funding for that part of the office.
All right. Does any member have any questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right, next item on the agenda is item 4H1C, request approval of credit card authorization. Can I have a motion to approve? Motion by member Martin, second by member Went. Would you like to address that one?
And that's a request to have another credit card issued to the state's attorney's office, something that has a low credit limit, and again, for use through the Victim Witness Division. As noted in the memo, one of the things in the past, we used to just deal with direct billing and invoicing. As things progress, even something you think about Uber and Lyft and the like, where we need to be able to get victims from one place to the courthouse and get them back to home or back to a transportation hub in some way. Between hotels and other transportation providers, we often have to have a credit card on file rather than just allow for direct billing and invoicing. This would allow us to be able to do that through something that's not our otherwise occupied credit card for the office.
Does any member have any questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right, next item is item for information, item 4H12A, caseload and forfeiture fund reports. Anything you'd like to say about that?
The one thing I'll just say on the caseload, I think it's something we mention every month, is where we see the 2022 projected on misdemeanor and the traffic, whether that's major traffic or DUI. Those numbers all look very different than they did in 2021. That's just a product of the manual on record keeping change that went into effect this year that changes how certain offenses are filed and what type of case numbering that they get. And so it doesn't necessarily reflect that there's been fewer DUIs, as an example, in 2022 as opposed to 2021. It just means that they're not being numbered or tracked in the same manner, and we have to go another layer deep to find those.
Does any member have any questions? All right, seeing none, the next item for information is backstop, item 4H12B, backstop agreement. Anything you'd like to say about that?
I have nothing to add to that.
All right, anything else you'd like to say?
Yes, I have a couple of things. So I know it's, again, something we've mentioned on a kind of a regular basis throughout the last year or so, is at the office, our staffing issues still remain where they were. I think it's at the last meeting, Don had mentioned that we had lost Ashley Scarborough to private practice. Since then, we've had another ASA put in their notice. We've had another ASA come and let us know that they are looking for and entertaining other job offers. And so, just like all the other departments, we're waiting on the results of the salary study, and hopefully that will be something that's beneficial to the staffing side. We've been aggressively advertising our openings, whether that's through the local McLean County Bar Association newsletter. We also have something working through the Handshake platform. And yesterday we got our summary that showed we had received 0 applications from students from 15 law schools. And so we are just not even receiving the applications to get people. We are still looking for solutions. We were meeting with admin last week. One potential solution we're looking at and doing some more research on is the potential idea of a part-time contract attorney to have a somewhat limited role. Looks like from our discussions, we have some money in the 700 lines that would allow us to afford one, at least for this year. And we're in some negotiations and some more research, and so it's potentially something we may bring in for a contract at the stand-up for the board meeting. And then, maybe on the brighter side, end on a positive note. I don't know if she's still sitting back there, but I can be pleased to announce that we got word from the Illinois Attorney General's office that Dr. Yoder has been appointed to the Opioid Remediation Advisory Board. And so that is something set up at the state level that's going to be dealing with some of the settlement funds from all of that stuff. And so that's a great honor for her, and that's good representation for the county on something like that.
Does any member have any questions? All right, thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is item 4I, Cassie Taylor, County Administrator. We have no items for action. Anything under information?
Chairman Erickson, I don't have anything to present for this committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item 5, Other Business and Communication. Anybody? Member Schaefer?
I'd like to remind everybody on this committee, and hopefully others will remind other committees, the 5th Annual McLean County Behavioral Health Forum will be on Tuesday, October 4th, which actually happens to be our Justice Committee Day. And we have 24 really great sessions planned in various tracks, and it's free to the public. It's free to park for courtesy of the town of Normal, and it's at the Marriott from 8 until 4:15. And so it's everybody's welcome, and members of the community. There's going to be a lot of informational sessions on mental health. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, seeing none, last item on the agenda is payment of bills. I have a letter here from our auditor, Michelle Anderson, that advises that she has looked at the bills and that they comply with county code. We have transfers, so can I have a motion to approve bills and transfers? Motion by Member Chung, second by Member Bear. I'll do it. All right, good. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.